Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after the break. Many thanks for reaching out to our last guest, Mr. Clive Lindsay, our gold consultant. I don't like to say we're expert because you know sometimes people of color we literally take that as a must. So God forbid if anything goes a bit left or a bit right, they say you're telling me say you're an expert. So he's a consultant, he's a gold consultant, but he consults people in the right way. So many thanks to those who got involved. And like I said, make sure you contact him or you want to contact me, 07464019433. All right. As I'm talking about expert, I'm gonna use that terminology for the next guest I'm going to be bringing on, yeah? Because I will honestly say that this brother here is an expert in selecting, an expert in the reggae fraternity, and an expert in the knowledge, not just from back in the day, but creating legacies. And this is what he's doing with probably the UK's favourite sound system, Saxon Sound, Saxon Sound, ladies and gentlemen. And he is one of many who has juvenated Saxon Sound system. He does an excellent, I can only take an excellent war report when it comes on a weekly basis and brings through various artists. I remember seeing Caperton on there doing his thing, and it's just a wonderful show on the Facebook and Instagram and YouTube as well. So make sure you check out the war report. So let me introduce to you, Mr. Allan Brando in the building. Allan Brando in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo.
I'm going to say to you, listen, there ain't many selectors I get hyped up about, but you, you're up there with Mataron. I ain't going to lie to you. You're up there.
Yeah, my respect. Well, go on. Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good, man. Thank you. I know you're a busy man. So I'll take pleasure that you're coming out and talking to yours truly, man. So look, first things first, how are you and the family as the industry going for yourself?
Yeah, man, everything is good so far, you know. Can't complain. You know what I mean? We have to give thanks. You know what I mean? And that's something that we always have to do. We have to give thanks. So when things are going good, never complain. Even if it's not going too great, still not complain. Just have to give thanks. You get me? We've got life. So when you have life, anything is possible moving forward. You get me? So we give thanks.
I don't know if you heard my last guest. I was talking to a guy called Clive Lindsay. He deals with gold, and I call it reality check on what's going on around the world.
Right.
And so we did talking about gold and how important gold is, and black people investing their monies into gold. But one of the things which I really, this is why I love reggae music, because I would ask you, how do you deal with still creating a vibe, playing music in these current times we are living in, still giving people inspiration? You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, I was just asking, how do you cope with all of the negativity around the world, but you still, when you play your music, you're out doing your dances, still creating that kind of vibe to the public? How do you do it? How do you find the balance?
Well, how I do it is just that when I'm entertaining and I'm out, my thing is just to focus on entertaining. My thing is not to bring my personal vibe to you. You're in a party, you come to enjoy yourself. My thing, my mentality is just to entertain. That's all that's on my brain, nothing else. So when I know that I'm going out and I've got a job to do, my job is to just deliver entertainment. So that's always my focus. I don't deal with anything else away from entertainment when I'm out. You understand? So sometimes some man might say, well, I had an off night because, you know, I'm going through this or going through that. With me, like I said, when you see me, it's straight entertainment. My personal thing is my personal thing, or whatever's going on behind the scenes. I never bring that to the forefront with my entertainment. You don't get no fabrication, just straight entertainment.
I asked you that question because reggae music is a music which is very reflective of the times we are living. It it was that with rap music, and I'm talking from a vocal point of view in some of the cultural artists. So when you, I've heard you in dances where you've played a track like a Caperton or a Anthony B or a track like that, which is resembling the times we are living in. And I would say that you, when you speak before you play the track or during the track, you give it that bit more emphasis.
Right. So what that is now, that's like you're giving it an intro. So the songs them now, see in dancehall now, what we do as MCs now, we tell a story before the song, because obviously if the song is talking for argument's sake, if the song is like watch your friends,
yeah,
we're gonna make the relevant speech about friendship. So you tell a story before the song and give it that oomph. You understand? So when you do that now, your response is bigger. So if you say blah 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 and da, 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 and hype up the song, and then the song comes in, watch your friends, what you keep. You understand? So you get that extra kick because you tell a story. You understand? So with dancehall, you only really find that in dancehall because that's the style of presentation in that world. You know what I mean? So you give it a look of oomph before you play the song. See, like I said, you tell a story.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. I'm going to play a Sizzler tune, yeah? A Sizzler, yeah? It's a Solid as a Rock. How would you introduce a Solid to prepare the people for the track you're about to play? So I'm going to play Solid as a Rock. How would you introduce that particular track?
Solid as a Rock now, a song like that now, if we're going to play I Can't Keep a Good Man, that we're going to say, yo, big up to everybody, you know, that nobody can't overthrow you. You understand me? You're solid. Nobody can't take you down. You believe in the Almighty. You understand me? Stuff like that. And then we would drop that Sizzler Kalanji song.
Do you know the reason why I played that? Yeah, because you done that at Boysdale one time, and you was it was the Black Excellence Awards.
Yes,
and he was speaking about, because that was an inspirational night, and you played that. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I never thought. So when Paula, Janelle, and those guys got you in there, because you've been playing there for quite a while now.
5 years.
Yeah, I've met the owner of that place, and I'm like, bruh, he ain't having. No, like he could play reggae in there. When I saw it change, when Freddie was in there, then Lucci was in there. But I know the man there. It's a business, isn't it? It's a business.
That's right.
Did you think that you would see Allan Brando playing on Saxon Sound System in such a venue like the Boysdale?
Not at one point, no. But I always said to Muscle from the get-go is that I don't want to be branded as a clash sound only. So when we got there, it wasn't like what, but you know what I mean? Because that was the aim, to broaden the horizon of Saxon. Because obviously back in the days, people knew Saxon more as for two things: clashing, and also that era where the MCs was on the sound. You understand me? So you kind of remember those two things only, but then on a party scene or a party flex, you don't really know Saxon for that like that. So I said that party scene is the most active scene right now. So if you're in music right now and you're not on the party scene, it doesn't really make no sense.
And this is why Saxon Sound, and probably one of the few sounds, I know there are other sounds, all credit to them, who have probably not so much followed in the footsteps, but are going down that road, the Love Injections of this world. They are becoming more party sounds, because growing up, they were clash sounds. And I suppose at a time where clash was the thing, we are seeing it more come back now with the on the boat. What's the thing on the boat?
Jamrock Cruise thing.
We are seeing more in that now. But the fact that I'm watching Saxon regenerate itself, and it's been doing it for the longest while in a good last couple of years, where you are opening up. You're not just playing dubs, which you can do all day, but you hear them play the Afro beats, you hear them play the little slow jams. Was that something, because look, you know how it is, man, we all know how it is that something you had to really dictate to the elders to say, listen, you've got a foundation here, you need to change the marketing of the sound? Was that a hard conversation to have?
Well, it wasn't that hard, to be honest. You know why? Because you go certain places, and when you reach certain places, and a man will be like, yeah, all right, cool, so we're gonna do this and do that. But then in the midst of the whole thingy, I'm doing what I'm doing, because I'm not gonna stand up and play how you want me to play. I'm gonna stand up and play according to the environment. So when a man sees what I do, there's nothing you can say, because you're gonna say like, Rob, well, yeah, that crowd was a bit different, and they wanted this and they wanted that. Because I'm a good reader, I'm a good listener. A good listener is a good learner. You understand? So if you observe and realize that you're in an environment where I look at this and I look a bit at that can work, you have to do it. So adapting wasn't that hard, because you'd have to be outright dunce not to realize, say, yo, hear what, this is the way forward. You'd have to be a complete dunce to go to a dance and see that, nah, why did Brando do that? You'd have to you watch and see and visually know that, hear what, that's the right move. So after that, now a man realize, say, yo, times are changing, you know what I mean? Carnival around Saxon was a straight rubber dub corner.
St. Lawrence, is it St. Lawrence?
St. Lawrence Terrace. It was a rubber dub corner, because the era of that was rubber dub. That, and you know, Saxon dealt with it according to how the times what they're in. But however, now the times around there has changed. The people, the demographics, everything's changed on the corner now. So you have to play accordingly to who is in front of you. So now, do you see a urban crowd and kill them with rubber dub?
No, when I see a black crowd now, yeah, that's where I would tend to go to. But I've seen Saxon, and that's where I first go to. That's my go-to place, and I've seen you play slow jams there and kill it. The matter of fact, I've seen the audience. Not black people still go. They still get your hardcore fans. They still go there. Yeah. But I've seen the audience so international now, and you play accordingly to the. That's why I got big up Victor V as well. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you gotta play. You gotta play according to how the thing's set. You understand? And to who's in front of you. So you always have to be mindful that the crowd you're in front of. Now, if it's a rubber dub crowd, I'm gonna kill you with rubber dub, because I know that it's that style is gonna be accepted to who's there. You understand? So as I said, you have to just look and be able to kind of read and see who's in the events, them, you know what I mean, to deal with the juggling accordingly. So, and that's what I do. I just play according to who's there and how I need to deliver, and that's how I run it.
But you don't just do that by selecting, because there's other guys who select as well. I've seen you, like, this is why it's so the mics man is so important. And I don't call you a hype man. I don't call mics man a hype man. The mics man is so, because you read the crowds lyrically, and I do that for a living. But to go into a carnival setting, and before the selector plays his tune, you observing lyrically the audience in front of you. That's a special kind of link. That's a special kind of connection. You ever thought of doing stand up?
Never. Never. Because you know what it is. So a few people said that about me and Will on War Report. They say, yo, you will get so much joke off War Report and thing. You lot should do stand up, but hear what it is now. You see, stand up comedy, as you know, you have to script. You have to make you know you're going there to do that. Now, if I knew that I was saying, you know what, I'm gonna have to go to a building definitely for make people laugh, I couldn't do that.
Well, there's
You'd have to just come to a event or watch a war report and just naturally get a joke or two. Naturally, if you find something funny. But if I'm saying I'm going to try my best to, just like how I'm playing music, because remember, how I play music is what you have to do with your jokes. You understand? So I know I have to go to a dance, bust the dance for half an hour, right, or an hour. When you're a comedian, you have to go there and bust the place with jokes. Me can't do that.
I don't believe that. I think you got 10 minutes in you. You got 10 minutes in you. That's all.
Boy, I couldn't see myself that. I feel like, hold on a minute. So if I are they gonna find that funny? Supposing the people that find my joke them funny and stand up in front of me like, so you never find that funny. I'm gonna be thinking like that, like, nah, so they're not feeling me.
Yeah, there's enough times I've seen selectors play a tune. It's like that tune, a dub, that tune, that boss.
That's what I'm saying, right? And sometimes that can be bad enough. So imagine you're standing up trying to make people laugh for an hour. It's a skill. So everybody's got different skills inside them. Everything is not for everybody.
I'm going to tell you, before we get to the War Report and obviously talk about the late Peter Morgan, one of my inspirations were to get into comedy, but everyone talks about the comedians. One of my inspirations were Marksmen and pastors, yeah, because I was always fascinated how a pastor can hold the audience, go to church every week or throughout the week and hold the audience and change a passage from a Bible and interpret it in their way, right? But one of my biggest inspirations, and you are probably familiar with him as well as a comedian, was Professor Nuts.
Yeah,
and
Professor Nuts.
And one of my first lyrics I listened to, right, from a small island of Barbadian descent was "Inna the Boss." And
Inna the Boss.
And listen to the lyrical content of how he put that together. And remember laughing. And when he done shows like Sting, how we had the audience, that whole audience was listening to the lyrics, but just the jokes as well. You know what I mean? So I so missed those days of him, General Trees, Mosquito. Those lyrics, that's reggae to me.
Because they were thinking about the business more than, you understand, and they were doing it for the love. You understand? So when you're doing things for the love, and you naturally you're getting when you're doing it for love, you get natural energy. So you find that man will use their creativity, natural talent will flow. Nowadays, no disrespect, man, just doing it for money, innit? So Amanda said, "Oh, if I can say I love her and get millions, I would just say I love her." You understand? A man ain't saying to themselves, right, let me see how I could break that down, or how I could make that, use my intellectual skills and say it in a different way, or humorous, or, you know what I mean? Like Professor Nuts them and that was doing it. You know what I mean? If you notice, you don't hear nobody on nothing near no humorous vibe like that, because everything for them is just making the money, innit? No one ain't thinking about how they can dominate and have longevity. Because you can listen to a Professor Nuts now. Professor Nuts, you're liable to see Professor Nuts in the UK this year or next year. And he's still touring, because there's still some relevance to his music. Now, some of the new youths them now, when they have a 1 tune or a 2 tune or a 3 tune, after 1 year, that's it for them. And then until the next youth bus, and he gets a year, and then this next one gets it. There's only a few of them that have any longevity spring in them, like a TJ, you know what I mean? And certain, look at other man, Assassin, Busy. Those men remain Virgo. Those man's held out because they got real talent. No disrespect to the news, you know what I mean? But Professor Nuts and them man there, them man, they were one away, bro.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, we come across to the YouTube channel. We're gonna come off the 99.8. They're gonna play Ever, but I'm talking to Allan Brando, Selector King, on not just by himself, but affiliated with the Don Saxon Sound, Saxon Studio. We've got a couple of questions I want to in the chat. We want to ask you, before we get into the serious side of the conversation. This is coming from Sky. Pretty British is asking. That's a you couldn't get a more yardy name.
I mean, but big up Pretty British.
Yeah, all right.
Prettiest British.
Right. She's asking, what is the advice for any younger generation trying to get into playing sound system, sound community? Do you think there's hope for? Do you think there's hope for new sounds?
There is hope for new sounds, but also remember, like anything that you're doing, you see, if you want to get into something, just like if you want to get into sound, radio, comedy, you have to learn the business, understand the business. You understand? So I find that some of the new cats, them sometime, they come in, they might get a little glory, but at the same time, they have this, some of them have some, not all of them, some of them have this style like they think they know it all. Can't know everything. Man like me would still learn today as a man with seasoned, because there's things that you can observe and say, rah, okay, I really knew that, you know, I can add that to my, you understand me? So I've still got the open mind to learn things same way. And like I said, the new generation, there is hope for them, but for you to capitalize properly, you have to respect what was going on before you, research what was going on before you, you know what I mean? And then put it together into your thing, what you're doing now, and move forward. But you have to study the game. So I think that the ones that study and respect what was going on before them, you find that they last longer. They present themselves better because they've took time out to research and see what was going on before, and you know what I mean, and then compact themselves together off of the back of learning and doing homework. You know what I mean? So there is hope once they do the necessary research and homework on top of what's going on for them now. So I hope that answers the question.
All right, another question here from Slow Jams D. All right, who are the other sound men? I love that, sound man. Who's the other sound men in Saxon? Who are the Saxon? Saxon's a big sound.
All right, so you have Musclehead, you have his brother Mini Muscle, you have Mikey Boops, and you have Sean Muscle, Victor V, and then recently we've brought back Double O.
Okay.
And myself. And then sometimes, you know, you got like Musclehead's other son, LF. He's actually Saxon Motion, but sometimes when we're busy and we've got other dates that we need to deal with, he will step in and deal with a thing.
What do you think of the insurgence of female DJs? We're seeing it more on the soul side, on the independent soul. We've got like Miss B, who's playing music, and one of my co-presenters has a little friendly fire clash with Neo Soul Independent. What do you think that from a reggae side, the insurgence of female selectors?
I like to see female DJs do the thing. You know what I mean? I like to see a female DJ deliver and, you know, show interest in the reggae thing. I like it. And there's a few of them that I know over the years, you understand? And I've always endorsed them. You know what I mean? But I find that sometimes it can be challenging for them. You know what I mean? And sometimes they don't follow it through, especially on the dancehall thing. See, soul thing is more relaxing, it's more easygoing. It's still gonna be challenging, you know, because obviously it's a male dominated thing. But dancehall is very, very it's mad. It's very, there's a lot of criticism, there's a lot of, you understand me? So I find that there's never really been a dancehall female DJ that's held it out. They've tapped in and tapped out. Once they see what the industry is at, they say, whoa, I'll leave that alone. But I always endorse it. I think it's good. It's good to see a female take interest in the thing. I always endorse it. So I'd like to see more of it. But it's very challenging because the people who come to dancehall and everything there can be very challenging.
Yeah, there's a DJ on our station. She been doing it for years. Lady J. You're familiar with Lady J? She's played with Keith Lee back in the day.
Yeah. I've heard of her. Yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Is she still doing it? She's still doing it.
She plays everything, but I know her for reggae, and I've seen her play reggae. You know what I mean? I look at her like as you're a G. You're a G. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, man. I endorse female DJs. Trust me, I rate them, especially when they're good and they do their thing good and they, you know what I mean, if they do radio and they present well and whatever, I endorse them. You know what I mean? Because obviously, you know what I mean, who don't want who if a man don't want it, don't like the look of seeing a female DJ and deliver and do her thing, then something wrong with him.
Yeah, no, real talk, no, real talk. Well, I'm gonna do controversy now. You tell me your opinion about this. I honestly do feel that Reggae Man select better soul than Soul Man when they select reggae.
100%.
What? I'm glad you said that because I've listened to Soul Man play reggae and I'm like, fuck are you playing, bro?
bro, no disrespect, because Soul Man them probably ball out, look like blasted Dovey Magnum for a minute, but guess what? They can leave it alone. They're not ready. When they play reggae, they play it back to front.
It's this. I've gone to. I gotta mention their names. I've gone to them. I'm like, I know you're Jamaican, so you must have the soul in you of soul of reggae to play it properly. I know you're a big soul DJ, but bro, like how you can play Dwayne and then after you play, I don't know, a cockatoo like She Loves Me Now. How you?
They're weird. They're wonky like that. They're weird. I've seen it. I know exactly what you're talking about because I've seen it, and I have to say to myself, "What are you doing? Are you all right?" But then when we draw the soul them now, it's all in order, and sometimes it's better because it's delivered and sectioned neatly. Because obviously, you know, I feel like you see dancehall now. You see the dancehall raves. They're never just dancehall. If you go to a dancehall party, yeah, it's never dancehall all night. You see, like when you go to a house rave and you hear house all night, there's no such thing as going to dancehall and dancehall is playing all night. There's multi-genres. Every selector will come on and do something different. If a man finishes with dancehall, no, he's never gonna start with dancehall. He's going to go soul. He's going to go he might change it reggae and go one drop like reggae. He might go hip hop R&B. He's gonna change. So you get multi-genres in dancehall. You get Afro beats. You get a touch of everything. Disco. You might get the Love Me Please, the Guilties. You know what I mean? So you're gonna get all type of different styles. So it's more versatile. As a DJ on the dancehall scene, you most of the men are more versatile. Whereas on the other side now, if you go to a rare groove party, they're gonna kill you with rare groove all night and give you 10 revival songs,
which sound like soul,
right? And play all the 10 back to front.
It upsets me. I mean, I'll call this one out. He's one of the few, or I say, there's a couple out there who could play reggae, but they're soul man. Raymond, Raymond, Fifth, he can play reggae.
Yeah, man. He might come from the Saxon school, so him know what I go on.
You're from the same man, innit? You're from the same area, so
yeah. Papa Ray, I call him Papa Ray. Papa Ray knows what I go on. Raymond knows what I go on.
Nigel B.
Nigel B is a man. He's on top of his game. Bad selector.
He could play. If you wasn't feeling too well and they needed a selector for Saxon, I reckon he could play.
Yeah, man. He honestly, he's impressive. He's impressive. I've heard him play reggae a good number of times, and he strings it along very well.
Yeah, he's very good.
For a man that doesn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are speaking to Allan Brando at Saxon Sound Studio and War Report. Listen, let's get to the reason why I did actually ask you to come on. And there's many people I could have asked, but I wanted to ask you because you are very informative and you keep the audience and the public informed of what's going on in the reggae fraternity, which is very much well needed. Your reaction when the news of Peter Morgan passed away, what was your reaction?
Couldn't believe it. I was so, it hurt me, Star. I'm telling you, it touched me differently because I didn't hear about him being sick. I didn't hear anything like that. So it's just like, bam, Peter Morgan's dead. I was like, what? What are you talking about? You know what I mean? It just rattled my brain, bro. And then I actually didn't even know that he was so young.
Yeah.
I just don't know why I naturally just thought, you know what I mean? He was older than that, but I was shocked and I was like, Robert, how did he die? What did he die? You know what I mean? I was shocked, bro. It hurt, bro. It hurt. Be real.
Just let the listeners know and viewers, just how much of an impact was Morgan Heritage to the reggae scene?
Big impact. Big impact. These are one of the men that's holding up the reggae side, the authentic side of it. Forget the dancehall side and the fast jump up side. You're talking about the rubber dub, you know what I mean? Roots and culture side. They are one of the key players that hold up that and don't switch and keep it consistent. You know what I mean? We're talking about songs like Reggae Bring Back Love. We're talking about Don't Have a Dread to Be Rasta. We're talking about Send Us Your Love. We're talking about She's Still Loving Me. We're talking about Down by the River. Yeah, we're talking about Look on the gully side. Do you see anything to smile about? You understand? We're talking about loads of songs, man. Morgan Heritage have set the pace and have a good string of hits. You know what I mean? We're talking about at least 12 solid shots can play.
I can mention Morgan Heritage similar to yourself as a group that I can play tracks which my mum and dad dance to. As you mentioned, Down by the River. She's
all ages can move to Down, but all ages know Down by the River.
All ages can dance to that and feel comfortable with that. And in the same breath, I can listen to a dub plate which they've done with bare ignorant man inside there. I still get the same response. And there was something about, like, I don't know, and you told me you're different, but I'm gonna put his passing there when I found out about Garnet Silk.
Yeah. He's that inspirational, trust me, because and more so as well, you know, the man is such a cool brother. He's so cool. You know what I mean? He's a down to earth man. He's one of them type of man there, you know what I mean? It doesn't go on like he's more than people. He doesn't go on like, you know what I mean, don't want to deal with you because of his status or anything. He's a man that he just, you know what I mean? He's happy to do an interview. He's happy to embrace everything reggae.
And I concur with that. I watched him on the interview with Sway in the Morning, and it made me realize that he was not, obviously, you know, the Americans are not really, they're from that part of the world. Sway's hip, but how he came across and he was educating Sway about his history in reggae and Jamaica. I said, that's a man you can just stop in the street and just rap to, and he would talk to you. You know what I mean? The passing of Peter Morgan was, to me, leaves a dent. So I'm not saying a big dent. It leaves a dent in reggae music. Do you feel that the group would continue?
Well, I was preying that still. That's one of the first things I thought, because even we're on Reggae Land together as well in August, and I was saying to myself, I wonder if they're gonna continue, but I think they should. You know what I mean? Because there was another brother in Morgan Heritage that had a similar voice to Peter. So I think that a lot of the Down by the River remember, Peter is the lead singer. So all of those Down by the River and She's Still Loving Me and all of the punches and the key songs, he is the lead singer on it. You understand? But that next brother there that used to be there, because I noticed that the group got a bit smaller. There was about 5 of them at one point, and then it kind of boiled down to about 3. But that brother there, he's got the closest voice to them. So I was thinking to myself, boy, I think they need to draw for him back and continue the legacy, because Morgan Heritage can't just stop like that. They just need to get, because obviously if a big group, if somebody drops out of an organization in terms of dies, you know what I mean? Do you lock that down, or do you continue?
Well, I can't see why they shouldn't. They shouldn't not continue.
Tell me something. If the owner of Tesco died, should Tesco lock down?
No, and this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes us as a culture, we don't think of legacy. Like you got like the 70s groups like Drifters, you know what I mean, and their man there, as old as they still they will replace him with somebody else, keep the kind of format, but still continue it. And I think Morgan Heritage, look, Derek Morgan's got what 20-something children. He must find it. Must find something. He must find someone in it, and just I think Morgan Heritage as a collective should continue because the name is bigger than the individuals. He'd be sadly missed. But I think the name, like the Wailers, is up there with the Wailers in my point of view. Should continue. As I'll speak about the Wailers, I just want to get your view of this because I had a big discussion and people watched the film on the back of my comments and I put it on social media. What's your view on One Love?
You know what? It was all right, but I tell you what, I preferred the theater one.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the theater one.
I went to the theater one, and it was, to me, it was more informative. It was more detailed. This one fell short because if I went straight and watched that, I would have accepted that and said, okay, yeah, cool. But I saw the theater one. So when I saw the theater one, remember I've got the view of that, and then I've gone and seen that now, and then that is, to me, a shorter version, shorter info to the theater one.
Yes, the biopic. It's a biopic.
You understand? So the theater one was more, you know what I mean? It went into more detail. I think they edited the other one to add certain look at bits and didn't give certain look at info that I know about. So I'm looking out to hear and then there's whoop. You understand? It's done. So it's like, but you know, other than that, it was all right. It was all right. But just like I said, if you've been and seen the two of them, naturally you're going to compare.
Okay. So can you understand and relate to some of the backlash it's been getting, that the lack of Jamaicans?
Yes. Yes. Because I personally think that the person playing Bob Marley should be Jamaican.
I disagree. So
the reason being is that, to me, if he was a Jamaican and you're trying to you're gonna get an actor to act as Bob Marley, why wouldn't you get a Jamaican? It's just like if somebody was English, if somebody was to play the role of you, I would never in my mind say, you know what, I'm gonna get a Jamaican person to play as Quincy. Because you wouldn't bring it to me, you're not gonna deliver it the authentic way of Quincy. You're gonna try, and we're not gonna knock a trier. It's gonna be okay, but I just think that there's certain actors in Jamaica and that probably have talent and that probably needed that break that you could have given a run to. That's just my opinion. I just think that there's actors there that you could have bust somebody from out of the ghetto. Remember Bob Marley was a ghetto revolutionary man, innit? You understand? Yeah. Pick somebody from out follow his pattern. Pick somebody from out of the ghetto who's got talent that will sit down and need that break, who could be suffering, and you could help that person there because he's got talent, and give him that break there. Because Bob Marley was that man there where look out for the garrison people and look out for the ghetto people. So I just think personally they should have found somebody from out of the trenches and said, yo, come play this role as Bob Marley. And boss him and give him an opportunity and make him help out his ghetto people and take some of the people out of the ghetto, like what Bob Marley done. You understand? So that's just me, innit? That's just my opinion.
No, that's what I asked, you know what I mean? Because it has really opened up a conversation. There was a young lady, I think she's a regular on TikTok, who was rinsing the Marleys. I can't remember her name, but she was rinsing them. She rinses everybody anyway. But it just really opens up a conversation. Because for me, it was like, well, in Idris Elba camp, he shouldn't play Nelson Mandela. You know what I mean? Danny Glover shouldn't play Nelson Mandela. And my thing, if you're an actor, you are acting somebody else's life. It's a biopic, but you know what? It opens up the conversation. Look, we've got a couple of minutes left here because I do want to get some more conversation with you. War Report.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it now?
This year will be 9 years.
What was the history of War Report?
Well, War Report. It started after the Love Injection Saxon dance, the last Love Injection and Saxon dance in 2015.
Yes.
It started the Monday after that because my co-host Will, he just come up with this thing and said, "Yo, you see, he done a show and I said, yo, you see, tonight is called a War Report. We're gonna report the war from Love Injection and Saxon, and that name, War Report, stuck. The rest is history. That's how it. It's a simple thing like that. That's how it started.
I can say this year, the War Report has brought so much conversation throughout the years. It has brought the Passa has been unreal. it's so entertaining. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, I love reggae. I'm a sound system man, but I've fallen out of love with the reggae of today. But every now and again, when I want to come back into the reggae fraternity family to find out what's going on, I would log in and with the time and listen, not just to the artists you are bussing and the artists who come over here, but just to hear the different sound systems and the conversations from across the pond, not just in Jamaica but in America, and that. And one of the things you just had recently, Dexter, what's his brother name?
Dexter Daps.
Dexter Daps. Hey, Bray, I saw a different side of that brother.
Yeah, because I drew him out. I made sure that I if you notice when I made him freestyle, I didn't make him freestyle on one of his rhythms. I made him freestyle on an original high fashion, original Studio One.
Right, and I was like, hey, this is now. I don't really know a lot of his tunes, but I Google. You bought something out of that brother, and he's good anyway. He's always been good, but he's UK artist, right?
No, he's a yard artist. He's from the same place as Killer, as Bounty, and Shabba, and Elephant Man.
Oh, I thought he lived here.
No, he's just he's just doing promo for his new album.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm gonna say this. Yeah, there was a side of him which was brought out in Raw Report. I don't know for some. Well, if he's not from here, he dressed very much like he was from here. Like he fitted in very good.
He's got a blend in. You have a blend in.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's in. You brought something out, and then as well, when Caberton was here, like
yeah,
rare.
He burned that. Yeah, after he burned down the studio, I had to refurbish it.
Rare. There was that was like up there. That's up there, not there. Up there with verses.
That was mad. He mashed up the place. You get me? And what it is that we're kind of bringing back with War Report as well, with the sounds and the artists. Then we're kind of bringing back that vibe that we had back in the days with radio. You know what I mean? Like 90s. You know what I mean? When artists used to pass through radio regularly. If you notice, there's a shortages of that now. The artists that come through, you just see them on the media. They're not doing radio interviews anymore. You're not getting to hear the personalities. You're not getting to hear where they start. You're not really hearing that much on radio anymore not because the radio man don't want to do it. It's because the opportunity isn't there. Because some of them are not really, you know what I mean, interested in doing a radio interview. You give them a radio interview schedule and say, yo, this is your schedule for radio interview. Sure, I can't bother with that, man. But let's go up on my live. But let's turn on my Instagram and go up on my live and let's tell the people them say, yo, I'm reach out England and read that. And they think that, you know what I mean, that's it. You just turn on your live. But you turn on your live and you're talking at your leisure. You understand me? When you go radio, people are different personalities are asking you different questions, and you have to learn to articulate yourself, or people just want to see how you articulate yourself and how you bring yourself across and how you present yourself to various questions being asked. People scrutinize and want to see how intelligent you are, how if you're humble, if you're hype, if you're just various things in it. People want to see those things in it as you as a public person. They just want to see how you put yourself together. So a lot of them don't see that side. So with the Capertons and that, where they've been allowed to come back into England, because remember, these men know it from that school there, innit? So obviously they got banned from the country for a while. Come true now, it's straight away they're on it. going back to do the original thing, boy, mega link Brando, mega link this man, mega link Robbo, mega link Shot. You understand me? Go and link the Garrett. And plus, I remember, we're not BBC.
That's right.
We're not BBC, but them man, they rate us.
That's right.
Like that. Where they say, you know what? Cool, BBC is BBC, but guess what? I need to go on War Report, because War Report is a worldwide platform where people love reggae and dancehall. So is that when you go one day, it's stick. People are watching back, people are doing this, people are, you understand me? Like the community is heavy for it. Where BBC, obviously, it's one show a week or whatever. People get into it or whatever, but there's nothing like your Garrison community embracing you.
Real talk, man, real talk. Listen, I've got 2 more questions before we go for a break and change up the thing, right? Just prepare you now. One of them, I'm going to play you a footage, not now, in a minute, regarding, because you're a dad, right? You're a dad just like myself. Yeah? And
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to play you something. I'm going to ask you, it's a scenario I'm going to end the show with, yeah? To do with finding out when you're pregnant, finding out when you're going to be a dad, yeah? Your reactions, yeah? But before that, I can't leave you here without asking you this question. Your Mount Rushmore of reggae selectors.
Say that again?
Your Mount Rushmore of reggae selectors. There's 5. With 5 top selectors, your Mount Rushmore. The top 5 selectors from your perspective, and you can't include yourself.
What's that, worldwide?
Yes.
All right. So you have UK, I would say Andrew Fresh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Then I would say Firelinks. Then I would say Billy Slaughter from Stone Love. Then I'd say Ricky Trooper from Kilimanjaro. And I'd have to say after that, Chris Goldfinger.
All right. So I'm going to say, no particular order, Tony Matterhorn, Firelinks. I will say Chris Goldfinger. Ricky Trooper. And I'm going to put in it old school. Metro Media. Sky Juice.
Sky Juice. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're my ones. Listen, Bridget, I want to come down to Raw Report and just vibe on a comedy thing, but I would incorporate the reggae in the reggae thing, because I always find jokes with the reggae selectors, you know what I mean, and the artists and I mean the old school artists, and
yeah,
especially now when I watch the Thursday back in the day Thursdays. Yeah,
the Dancehall Thursday thing. Yeah,
with Peter Metro and thing, and you see something. Well, it used to be a sex symbol back in the day. the managers, I'm just like, rah. But do you know who really shocked me on Dancehall Thursdays?
Who's that?
Buddy General.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buddy General. Right, look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna play this clip because I'm gonna play it on Allan Brando before he goes. And this is the question we're going to be asking after the break in front of the chat. So we're both dads, and I know it's International Women's Month, but I want Allan to see this clip, and then I'm going to ask a question, and then we're going to go there. So play the clip, please. Voices in my head.
Hello?
Hey, Anthony.
Hey.
I just wanted to let you know that I'm late.
Late? Late to where? Where you going?
My cycle, Anthony.
You late on your bike cycle?
I missed my period, Anthony.
Okay, so why did you decide to ride your bike to your period? But I thought you graduated already.
I'm pregnant.
Oh. Well, congratulations, girl. What do you mean?
The baby is yours.
Oh, no. Is that like a medical condition? Yours? Is that
No, it's yours, Anthony, yours.
So why are you telling me? Go tell yours. Like, congratulations to y'all.
It's Anthony Devon Griffin.
You went out and found somebody with the same name as me. I knew you was obsessed with me. Girl, stop.
It's yours. It's yours. You, the baby is yours, Anthony Devon Griffin. It's
again?
It's Nene, Anthony. Don't know me.
Oh, girl, Patricia. Stop playing on my phone, Janet. Oh, my God. You so crazy, Denise. Bye. Talk to you later. She is so crazy. She gonna be a good mom, though.
Last question, yeah? I'm gonna just when you found out you was a dad, what was your reaction?
Well, I remember I was saying to myself, flipping out, I'm gonna be a dad. What? I could never forget. I was about what? I was about 19 or 20. I was like, wow, I'm gonna be a dad. I was frightened. I was thinking to myself, wrong, and I have to change up my thing. And I have to, you get me? But it made me look on things a lot more seriously, because I realized that, you know what, I'm actually going to be a dad, and I am actually fully living for someone now, if you get what I mean. Like, you got responsibilities. So it made me say, you know what, well, I'm gonna have to make everything I do has to literally make a lot more sense than it did before. You get me? So
The thing is, how did the mum come to you with the news? Because like I said, my first one, she came to me like I owed her money. I was what's your face on that for? She came to me like I done her something, like I pulled away the chair or something. I was, what's wrong? And
well, I remember her saying something like, what was it again? She said something like, I can't remember exactly what it was like. I think of like, do you want the good news or the bad news? something kind of to that effect. To get me, you know what I mean? And I was like, but obviously she put it under the good news section.
So what was the bad news then?
I can't remember. There was something I can't remember. That's what I can't remember fully what the two things were, but I just know one of them was she was pregnant. The good news was she was pregnant. In my head, I was like, good news, is it? Because remember, I didn't even know how to take that at that point. So I was thinking, in my head, I was thinking, what made you think that was good news? Like, kind of like thing, like, you know what I mean? Obviously, I can look back at it and I'll say it was great news. But at them times there, you know what I'm saying? What do I know about being a dad? I'm saying good news. What? You know what I mean? Kind of like vibe. But yeah, that's how I got told still. You get me?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about after the break. Listen, Allan, I appreciate you taking your time out and holler at me.
Man.
Holler at you, man. Listen, when I got time, or when you got time, I'd love to come to the studio and just talk the thing. And you got time, man. And
man.
All the success. All right, King.
Yeah, man. Respect everybody on the live. Big up Slow Jams D. Big up yourself. Pretty British. Big up, and the rest of the people, them manners and respect. And big up to yourself as well, bro. Putting in the work, doing the thing. Big up yourself as well. You know what I mean? Quincy. Big up yourself. Household names, doing the do. Keep doing it, because you don't know your thing is proper. You get me? So just keep doing your do, bro.
I respect, King. Take it easy.
Blessings.
I respect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Allan Brando. Listen, this is what we're asking the